Damn elbows, bud.
I have been falling for 30 minutes! If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, nigga, gay guy, gay guy. And you check your
I'm a ghost and back to you. You know just how we do. Oh man, I couldn't even keep time with myself. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy, aligned with the like-minded, Tony Tone Deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. Damn, we lost 2 viewers with that entrance. You know that's bad. Is it the Kelly, or is it the Rittenhouse? I gotta know. What's up, Chris Fisk? What's up, Superfan Adam Shawn? Great to see both of you. Look, I'm talking in the chat. I didn't even say anything. Everybody, welcome back to the Monday Night War retrospective, weeks 47 and 48. July 22nd, 1996, July 29th, 1996. Historic weeks in professional wrestling. Good times. Like every time they show an NWO package and show them getting together, I mean, those things happened on these episodes. So we also got the debut of the NWO theme. We got the debut of the NWO logo, and things are starting to piece together. And now we're questioning who the fourth man is. Will they be revealed tonight? Stick around and find out. Before we get to all that, let me introduce the wonderful gentleman on the panel first. He's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins like he's Demi Lovato. He was born and raised in the USA, like Osama bin Laden and Ilhan Omar. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Etep Wokuian from Etep Wokuian's Place to Be Reviews.
Hail each and every one of you in the chat. Hail this wonderful panel. It is I, it is he, it is me, PDD, Etep Wokuian from the Place to Be Reviews. Right back here with all of yous, even the Orthodox Jews. L'chaim. And these 2 weeks of Nitro were just too sweet.
Hell yeah.
And that other voice you hear is not just the vampire of all fandoms, but he's now a controversial vampire. Some footage was taken this weekend while he was over at Horror Hound. We're going to be looking at that later. Just because, being on the channel, you kind of represent the brand, man. So, I mean, we need to get this out. We need to get ahead of it before rumors start flying.
Yeah.
And, yes, Mr. Angelous Draven.
Yes. It should be a good a stream tonight because, like they were saying, NWO is in full force. We got those packages, and I think it's probably Hulk Hogan's like ever best, like what do you call him? Promo, like ever, because it's actually good.
Yeah.
Instead of eat your vitamins, brother, and eat your pasta mania.
Yeah, he actually Hogan, he made a great baby face, but there's something to be said about his heel turn, and like as bored as we can get with Hogan sometimes, he helped redefine the entire industry with his heel turn, and that says something because wrestlers turn heel all the time, they turn baby face all the time, and it doesn't quite do for the business what Hogan's heel turn did. That was pretty major. Yeah, that's right, Chris. He drank his juice, his heel juice.
Hey, he did.
Yeah.
Hulk Loja.
Oh God.
Hulk Loja.
Drink your juice, Billy.
You think the kid would have said Hulk Hogan or Sting or Stone Cold
Nope.
Steve Austin, but no, he said the fucking
Robert
general from
Loja.
Independence Day. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's his idol. And I can't judge. I mean, I love Tangerine actually. So I mean, fuck you, Billy. If you don't want it, I'll drink it.
I just love that after he drinks it, Robert's looking at him. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go plow your mom again, Billy.
So, also, what have we got for this week? We're reviewing July 22nd, July 29th, 1996. We're going to take a look at Draven's controversial tape.
I'm a little
and
scared.
Yeah. You should be.
I would be if I was you.
Goddamn.
Wait, hey, you can actually say it to me. You can tell me. Jamie, we need to see the footage.
He like messaged me while I was at work, like saying he's like, I there was like footage or whatever of you at Horror Hound, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do today? You know, while I was at Horror Hound.
There's footage.
Okay.
Yes. So, also, we're going to have a conversation because WrestleMania is happening here in just a couple days. One thing about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and you can say Roman isn't, but I'll argue with that. It's two Paul Heyman guys going at each other to unify the championships once again. Will that actually play out that way? I don't know. But we're going to have a discussion tonight on where the wrestling industry might be had Paul Heyman decide to become a used car salesman or sell insurance or just anything away from the wrestling industry. Because, again, I don't think anybody has had a more profound impact on the industry as a whole than Paul Heyman has in the past 30 years. And if you can think of someone, please bring them to mind, and I will gladly debate you on that.
Johnny Ace.
Yeah. Fucking John Laurinaitis, idiot. Oh, man, when they made him GM of Raw.
Yep. I remember.
Those are the dark times. I'd rather watch
He's already
Shawn
dead
Michaels
by then.
lose his vagina and Diesel champ as a whole year, just boring Diesel versus Mabel. I'd rather watch all that than have to sit through John Cena's career again because, my God. And look, all the China stuff, take that away, just the character himself. I liked John Cena at first. I really did. What's up, the Sentinel? Good to see you. I did. I liked John Cena, the character, but damn, he got stale with Batista leaving and Brock Lesnar originally leaving. That's why when Lesnar returned, it was such a breath of fresh air, but then they had him lose to Cena at the pay-per-view. Like, guys, they buried CM Punk, who there was some real fire there.
Mm-hmm.
And right in the middle of it, they had Triple H beat him. Just clean in the square in the middle of the ring, like, okay. They were going to have Kevin Nash do it, but he tore his quad.
Of course.
Normal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an average day getting out of bed for Kevin Nash.
Look, Kevin Nash was going to be a basketball player till he tore his fucking quad.
Yep.
You know when he's not lawn darting Rey Mysterio into a trailer.
Yeah,
dude, I remember watching that. That's one of the memories I have is watching that live.
Yeah, same.
And oh my God, like it was so much fun because I've seen it since then, but just like watching the whole show again and knowing that was coming, it's like, oh, this is when Ray like tries to freaking just suicide dive Kevin Nash. So yeah,
but it's such a WCW thing to do. We'll get to this, everyone, but they didn't have screens for the audience to watch on. So while all this crazy shit is happening on TV, the fans are chanting boring because they're just sitting there looking at an empty ring. And the commentators are having to cover for, oh, well, they can't quite see what's going on. Well, whose fault is that? Like, you didn't think to put a screen out there for them to watch? Some kind of Titantron or something?
And it's like, it's MGM. They should have had something like that, I would assume.
Yeah, right? It's Disney MGM Studios. Why not? So let's go ahead and jump into this first week of Monday Night Raw, July 22nd, 1996. Now, this show did score a 2.2 rating, losing to Nitro, who had a 2.6. And yeah, your current WWF champion is Shawn Michaels, and our Continental Champion Ahmed Johnson, and World Tag Team Champions the Smoking Guns Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler are on commentary, and the show opens with the WWF Tag Team Champions the Smoking Guns facing our two singles champions, Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels, with everyone's favorite, Jose Lothario. It's Shawn's birthday, so Sunny has a big cake for him, and after that, she brings out pastries. Yeah, that was a bad joke.
Does she have milk?
I'm kicking myself the fuck out for that.
It's okay. We'll take over from there. We'll just keep taking them out of the studio. No, God, there was dark matches on this card. I didn't even realize it.
On the Raw?
Yeah, on the 29th Raw, or wait, I'm on the 29th. Why is this?
Yeah,
the 22nd.
Yeah, because I think it's the night after the fucking pay-per-view, because they're in Seattle, Washington now. We're finally the fuck out of Green Bay.
Yeah, Jesus. Nobody wanted to be in Green Bay that long.
Yeah. What were those dark matches? Just Jerry Lawler versus everybody?
Yeah, we had Salvatore Sincere versus he went over on Billy Two Eagles. Psycho Knee Break defeated the British Wears Me title shot. Shawn Michaels beat Vader in a dark match, which is weird. Ahmed Johnson beat Farouk.
Something since Raw was so garbage.
Yeah, Ahmed Johnson went to a double count out in 1 minute and 8 seconds against Farouk with Sonny, and The Undertaker beat Mankind in a casket match.
Yeah. See, they got to give the audience something, because not much happening here on
Raw.
On Raw, you get
a casket match with Undertaker and Mankind on a dark match. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it ended in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
See, because on TV, all you're getting is Jose Lothario, an entire hour of him. So he's like the Edward James Olmos of professional wrestling.
That is good.
Yeah, he is. That is a good comparison, though.
So, yeah, it's Shawn's birthday. Sonny has a big cake for him. After Shawn and Ahmed clean house, Sonny gets caked. Smash her face right into it, which everybody wants to see. So she's probably got the funnest job in the world right now. Just shows her assets and gets slopped or caked or something she shouldn't be showered in is on her every week. So
she takes something creamy to the face every week.
Yeah. Now, instead of like training to wrestle this time so she can face Sable in 2 years, WWF President Gorilla Monsoon moves the match back for later in the show so Billy Gunn can recover from getting knocked silly by the sweet chin music, the old classic bait and switch. So we do go to Mark Merrow with the aforementioned Sable versus the Goon, who is he's a good example of what Vince McMahon's ideas generally are. You know, what he thinks is a good. He's your Fandango. He's your yeah. So the Goon, obviously,
what the fuck?
Was that supposed to, I think it was supposed to be like Bob Probert from the Red Wings.
Yeah, like it's just Vince McMahon's again. He wanted Austin to be the ringmaster. Like, can I just do what Paul Heyman was telling me to do, please? And he ends up becoming the hottest thing in wrestling. So Mark Merrow obviously defeats the Goon. with a slingshot leg drop. Not much of a match. I think at this point the Smoking Guns versus Ahmed and Shawn Michaels is looking pretty good. So speaking of Shawn and Ahmed, they're in the back. They said they're looking forward to gaining the WWF Tag Team Championships tonight. Bob Backlund is in the stands. You know, the guy who gave Hogan his first title run back in like 1979. Him, Bob Backlund. He's campaigning for President of the United States. We get some of the Clarence Mason storyline, which Clarence Mason, he's Jim Cornette's lawyer. He's representing somebody trying to get into the WWF. So we don't know who it is yet, but we will find out soon. Next, we get Mankind versus Freddie Joe Floyd. Yeah.
It's me, baby. It was my great uncle, Freddie Joe.
No, that's actually his grandma, Freddie Joe.
My grandma, Freddie.
Yeah,
she was a big woman.
I mean, I'm going to let Chris Fisk answer this one, and we're all going to sit in silence. Who do you think won this one, Mr. Fisk? Mankind or Freddie Joe? Exactly. Yeah. Floyd delivers a few punches, but in the end, he couldn't breathe once Mankind clawed him in the mouth, you know, a mandible claw. So this lasted under 4 minutes. Then we get Goldust with Marlena versus Barry Horowitz. Goldust goes over with the curtain call. You know, kind of an uneventful Raw. This is backstage, Sonny and the Smoking Guns scold Shawn and Ahmed for not conducting themselves like real champions. They weren't acting presidential, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they're going to pay for caking Sonny. Yeah. So we then get the slam of the week from Supersized Stridex, brought to you by Mark Ruffalo. Vader bomb. Okay. Vader bombs Shawn Michaels at the pay-per-view. It was a 6-man tag. Shawn, Ahmed, and Psycho Sid versus Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Vader. And they're trying to set up the SummerSlam main event. So they wanted Vader to look strong. He plops his fat ass on the Heartbreak Kid, pins him 1, 2, 3, and then we go into the ring where Vince meets with Vader and Jim Cornette. Cornette says since Vader pinned Shawn last night, Gorilla Monsoon has awarded Vader with the WWF title shot against Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam. Cornette, he calls Vader like the schoolyard bully who's all grown up. So after that, we go right into our main event of the evening. The WWF Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Smoking Guns with Sonny defend against Ahmed Johnson and Shawn Michaels with Jose Lothario. Yes. So, yeah, how this ends is Farouk actually makes his WWF debut on camera here. In the middle of the match, he runs out dressed like a gladiator.
All right.
I thought it was just me. He's talking about. Let's see where we're at. The main.
Yeah, the main event.
Oh yeah, yes. Farouk. Oh yeah, with his weird ass gear he had.
Yeah, like a gladiator. Like it almost looked like a Netflix rendition of 300.
It was bad.
Yes.
God. Yeah, that, and then like Sonny is like all of a sudden with him now too. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, you know. I couldn't help it.
Again, who isn't she with?
Dude, they're gonna be feuding 2 years from now with like the Nation of Domination and shit. Like, I hope you motherfuckers like Farouk and Ahmed Johnson, because yeah, that's what you're getting. Yeah, so next week on Raw, Undertaker gets a return match against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mark Merrow meets Vader. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. Meanwhile, on a more entertaining Nitro, again, the week is July 22nd, 1996. They are still emanating from the Disney MGM studios in Orlando, Florida. Your current world champion is the Giant, the U.S. champion Ric Flair, the WCW Tag Team Champions Harlem Heat, the World Television Champion Lex Luger, and your Cruiserweight Champion Rey Mysterio after he won it about 2 weeks ago now from Dean Malenko. The first match from the Disney MGM studios. Wonderful match. I suggest going back and checking that out. It was July 8th, 1996. So for hour number one, your hosts are Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. Were there any dark matches on
There
here?
were no, not on this card. There was no dark matches. And I think that really changed when they hit the 2-hour format. And they're like, you know, everybody's on the main card. Occasionally they'll throw one in, but not on. I don't think either of these weeks had any dark. No, neither week had any dark matches.
Well, Schiavone and Zbyszko, they really start the show off talking about Muhammad Ali, who got to light the torch for the 1996 Olympics, where Kurt Angle will break his freaking neck to win a gold medal.
Yep.
And yeah,
it's
so
true.
They want to show Muhammad Ali is associated with WCW, you know, so they show footage from like 2 years ago. They awarded him, WCW contributed to one of his causes, one of his nonprofits. And this clip is bad. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is around the time in Muhammad Ali's life where he has no fucking idea what's going on.
He was like, he had no idea where the fuck he was, bro. Like,
Shivani's lucky he didn't get a flashback. He's standing in a ring. There's an audience.
Yep. Yeah. It was sad to see that, because I was like, damn, like he was not in good shape there at all.
No. And then they trusted him with fire to light the Olympic torch. Damn. It was a different time then, people.
It was.
Also, Shaq just signed with the Lakers. That's news because he showed up to WCW once too. Hulk Hogan's buddy.
Mm-hmm. Shazam. Yeah.
Crazy, huh, Shaq? I almost forgot he was with Orlando for a while.
I've got his Orlando jersey.
That's awesome. Can we rock? What's up, Dot? So, yeah, Shaq had a rap song. He's done it all. If you need Arizona,
CD.
Yeah. If you need,
he had a video game too.
Yeah. Shaq's done it all.
Remember Shaq Fu?
Mm-hmm. That game was fun.
No, all right.
I don't think I ever played Shaq Fu.
One of my buddies got it. I never got it.
Yeah. Well, Chris said Potato Ali.
Chuck Wepner outlived him, didn't he?
No clue, dude. I think Muhammad Ali outlived Muhammad Ali. There wasn't much going on behind those eyes.
No, not at that point.
If it was today, he would have been elected president. So,
Helen Keller could have taken him at that point, I think.
Yes. So we get a flashback to Hall and Nash covering up the WCW letters with NWO bed sheets last week. And then we go to the ring for Scott Norton versus Squire David Taylor with Jeeves. Yeah, I mean, Scott Norton is one of the... Now, I'm not saying he would have been this great world champion or anything, but I'll always say he was one of the biggest missed opportunities from WCW.
He was IWGP world champion. I mean, the dude, he was over. He worked strong style. That was the thing about Norton. It's like they completely missed the bus with him. It was bad. It was such a missed opportunity. And like we talked about before, Tony, when they put Fire and Ice together, they're this great tag team. Put the Steiners over on them, and then I think they jobbed to the Steiners a couple times, and I don't know if they ever went over clean that I can recall.
No, the best is a no. They fought to a no contest.
No contest. Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome, Vinny.
Hey guys. Well,
Hey,
it is
what's
the
up,
Steiners, and they only had a 33.3% chance. Between the two of them, they had a 66. How we doing, guys?
Good.
What's up, man?
Good,
How
bro.
are you tonight?
Welcome.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's been a busy day. I missed Drew's stream yet again. I wanted to get on, but I was busy.
You missed Jasmine St. Clair, yo.
Oh, that's who you had on tonight?
Yeah, she was really
Nice.
cool, man. She was cool as hell. She's fucking based. But anyway,
that's
awesome.
we'll talk about that later. Yeah, dude, she's based as fucking. It's Ivy League education too.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because I want to go back on Drew's show. Like I love streaming with Drew and talking about it. But now he's got all these celebrities on there, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just like, hey, can I jump on and say hi to Jasmine?
You can.
Great show though.
Oh yeah, it's always a blast.
Yeah.
So Taylor goes over on Norton by DQ.
Yeah. For what reason? Like fucking Scott Norton tosses him over the top rope.
Over
and
the top
fucking
rope.
Ref DQs it. Like, huh?
Okay, all right,
You
yeah.
see people getting kicked square in the nuts all the time, and you don't DQ.
I was just gonna say that there's so many just like kicks
Flair.
to the nuts. Yeah, well, him and everybody else was just like right in front of the referee. They're like, "Oh yeah," somebody catches a shot to the nuts, and the ref's just like, "I don't know,
What?
I don't know,
What happened?
It's always the funniest shit too, especially back then. They always sold it with it was just like the bicep hitting the balls.
Yep. Did we have a promo after that match?
Well, Ric Flair's sitting over at the
that's right.
catered table that he's been bringing out
Yep.
lately. They're eating apples and
Spending Macho Man's money on fruit.
yeah. So he's in the main event tonight. Arn says not to worry. They love to be fashionably late. Mongo mentions the Outsiders when nobody was talking about them. Benoit just kind of makes some noise. He almost strung a sentence together. Almost.
Did you notice? I think it wasn't this week. It was the second week. How Nancy was like behind him. She was, at the table. She was standing by Chris, and then they show that promo package from the match with Benoit and Sullivan, and you see her getting in there. Chris, you're gonna hurt him, and it's like,
yep. That was
kayfabe,
at Bash at the Beach.
Kayfabe, Nancy, kayfabe.
Yeah.
Kevin booked you into a divorce.
No, it's because the Dungeon of Doom went over on the four. Okay, Who was it? Sullivan and Giant went over on Benoit and Arn Anderson.
Yeah, Arn and Benoit.
So then, Benoit he started following Arn Anderson to the back, and once Arn got back there, and no. When Sullivan and Giant were walking to the back, Giant gets to the back area, and Benoit just runs up on the ramp behind Sullivan and starts kicking the shit out of him. Threw him in the sand because it was a beach set up, and then brought him back in the ring, and there was sand all over the fucking ring. It was a mess.
I would have fucking been pissed if I had to work after that. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking sand. It's
So,
coarse and
yeah.
it gets everywhere.
Yep. It's just as bad as glitter.
See, and this would have been more interesting at the Oscars if Will Smith would have done this. Mean Gene wants a banana, so Mongo throws it at him.
You wanted Will to slap him in the face with his banana?
It would be the first time that Will would be the giver, not the receiver.
Chris
should
Rock
have
would
took
been. Oh, sorry,
one
go
of
ahead.
his. He should have took one of his chicken nuggets on his plate there at the Oscars and chucked it at Chris Rock's head.
Oh, shit.
Have a
I
chicken
think-
nugget.
Chris Rock would have pulled that character, the drug addict one. How about for a nickel? I just licked the tip.
So
We had next up we have Conan, who is what belt did he have? Did he have
He's
a belt here?
Yeah, he's the AAA heavyweight
AAA.
champion, but they keep calling him the Mexican
Mexican.
heavyweight champion.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. I was like, why? He's not there. There's not just one promotion in all of Mexico.
They were
Like,
trying
so
to the world was smaller. There wasn't such a prevalent internet back then, so they were
Yeah.
They
A
didn't
lot of motherfuckers were on dial-up.
Right.
Yeah, he had.
We can lie to anyone; they'll believe us.
Right.
Hey, well,
He went over, and he went over on VK Wall Street. Who I love that Billionaire Ted answers the Billionaire Ted sketches with, "Hey, Mike Rotunda, we're gonna call you VK Wall Street, all right?"
Vincent Kennedy Wall Street.
Yep.
What are they doing down there? They're making fun of me again. Pat,
that's funny.
give me somebody. Give me a guy who's going to puke in the ring. Where's Darren Drozdov? We'll call him Puke.
He's gonna puke, damn it. So Mean Gene, who's the hardest working man on Monday nights, then meets up with Sting, Luger, and Savage. They're basically mad at everyone. They're mad at Hogan and they're mad at Flair. They want both of them, even though Hogan and Flair are at odds. So it's a huge clusterfuck there. So then we get well, first off, we get a Glacier promo, but then that Alex Wright, Joe Gomez, Renegade Jim
Yeah, what the
Powers
fuck was
promo.
that?
Like that was like that was like softcore Showtime porn almost.
Yeah,
Gay
I was
porn.
like, what am I watching?
I was gonna ask you guys about that. I was like, why is Jimmy Powers like running on the beach and taking his shirt? Why is Alex? Why is Joe Gomez so out of shape?
God, I wish it
was like
WWF
Joe Gomez
wouldn't hit
was
us
the only
with
one that
fucking
was-
copyright. They'd hit us with the copyright for showing that. Can you fucking
No,
believe that?
That's
You know what?
ridiculous.
No. You can. I guarantee. I could edit it right now, so you could show it. All you have to do is put a filter over it. All you have you just have to put a filter over it.
Vinny,
we'll do-
you would probably reconsider ever coming on the show again if you saw this. Like, what are we talking about?
It was weird. Like, I know Erica walked in. She goes, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Wrestling."
Which is very ambiguous.
It's super homoerotic.
It was. I was like, and I'm an ardent WCW defender. I was just like,
Yeah.
Ironic,
Why?
isn't it? That's
Yeah.
when Walton says hello in the chat.
yeah. Walton's like,
Hail
Walton's
Walter
like,
Stephen
Hey,
Walton.
Walton.
she was like, I heard there's gay stuff and oil
90s
and
softcore
sand.
gay porn.
90s, yeah. He got his step ladder. He was looking in. He's like, "What are you guys watching?"
Yeah.
So then we get the I mean, I don't even know what to call them, the Fabulous Four or what, but
Ugh.
they go against they wrestle against Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, Hugh Morris, the Barbarian, and the Leprechaun, who's making his debut. And that's another thing. Tony Schiavone's like, oh, they have a partner with them tonight.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe it. And you're like, who's this gonna be? Like, we've gotten Lex Luger showing up, we've had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, like all these people are showing up. Who's it gonna be? And it's a fucking dollar store hornswoggle.
Dog, it was a normal sized dude. He was just short and he was crouching
Yeah.
down. It was Buddy Lee Parker.
Jeez.
That's who it is. Sarge, remember Sarge, Buddy Lee Parker? That's who the Leprechaun, Braun the Leprechaun. His name is Braun. Braun the Leprechaun was Buddy Lee Parker. I was like, this dude's like the trainer at the power plant.
See,
At least it's not the Yeti.
Oh my
You mean Ron Reese?
Yeah.
Because that's who it was. It was Ron Reese from the Flock.
Okay.
yeah. So
Weren't they doing a lot of stupid things though? I remember every time they had those outdoor ones on the beach. I remember that one guy who was up on top of the hotel, it was the wall or something, and Hogan was like yelling at him. The guy was on the top. He was on the roof of a hotel. You can't hear a word he's saying. There's a spotlight on him, and you got Hogan trying to do a promo against him.
I remember when Hogan. Hogan threw the Giant off the roof in Detroit.
yeah,
That was at Cobo. That was the
Halloween
man versus
Havoc.
man versus machine versus machine, and man versus man. And then the giant falls off the roof of Kobo in the monster truck. And then inexplicably, a half hour later, he's walking down to the ring like nothing happened.
Yeah, wrestling for the World Heavyweight Champion.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm fine. We're all fine. Just it was a flesh wound.
That's it.
So,
But this-
He's
yeah,
the giant.
this-
He's undestructible.
This tag match was kind of, it could have been if they actually like legitimately, hell, Brutal Morning would, if they legitimately like worked, but they had the stupid leprechaun gimmick going on, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It turned out to be kind of like a hot mess. It was just meh. But you had some good workers in the match, and then there was Joe Gomez and the Renegade too.
yeah.
When did the Dungeon of Doom just like go away?
They're still kind of around, like
They are.
they're still kind of around in like 1998. I think they're just not really like. I'm pretty sure Hugh Morris still comes out to the theme, maybe, or does he have a laughing theme?
No, because he switched it all up by then. Because he was on his own at that point.
It's like, why even have you have the NWO now? What the fuck is the Dungeon of Doom? Like,
When Sullivan left, it just because I think he left. It's not too much longer where he goes off TV. Where he was, I don't think he wasn't on TV at all.
he's going to
And
become the booker, just focus on that full time or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because at that point, they just kind of shelved the whole angle. Hail Frankie knows.
Hail Frankie knows.
Hogan is here.
On to better matches, at least. We get DDP versus Prince Iake, and DDP is really since they moved Nitro to 2 hours, he's in less dark matches, and he's really starting to make a name for himself. He won the Lord of the Ring tournament. He's been on TV like every week now. He's looking good. His diamond cutter's starting to get a bit of a reaction. So it's exciting because I got to tell you, he was like one of my favorites in WCW, if not my favorite. Like, the dude was pure charisma, and he could get a reaction.
Yeah.
And again, he brought Goldberg to like his only like I'd say 4-star match.
Yeah.
Like, Goldberg isn't. Yeah, he pulled a pretty damn good match out of Goldberg, and I haven't seen anyone else do that. So
Right, because when you have to lift heavy, remember, lift with the legs.
Paige is the people's champion. Like, the Rock didn't earn that shit. Like,
yeah,
Paige was, man. When he went to a full on babyface gimmick with that everyman blue collar deal. He was money. He feuding with Raven and all that over like it was like the U.S. heavyweight of the TV title. Yeah, and I mean the dude was on fire at that point.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, initially coming into this conversation, I got really worried about Etep because I just heard Paige and then I was thinking the female wrestler. And I was like, oh no, please tell me he's not pushing her up to be something better than what she was.
Oh no, she was good at taking back shots, but not much else.
Hey Tommy, how you doing?
What's going on, y'all?
Welcome,
What's up,
Tommy.
So, yeah, DDP versus Iake doesn't like. It's like what, a 2-minute match, and DDP hits the diamond cutter. He goes.
It was nice off the ropes.
Yeah,
he came. It was kind of a little rebound.
Yeah, Iake goes to springboard off the middle rope, and fucking DDP just caught him.
I always liked Prince Iake. He was, and we talked about this the other day. I have an affinity for the mid card guys because there was so much talent there in WCW at that point.
Yeah.
And Prince Iake, I never really looked into like if he did much outside of WCW, but he was so talented. He just didn't have that connection to the crowd. See, he was a guy that would have been good in a tag team or with I would say with a manager, because his in-ring work was pretty solid. Depending, like him and Jericho had some good matches. But and it's the same.
He had
go
no
ahead.
personality.
No, No, that was it. He was vanilla as hell, which really, really hurt him because it's like, okay, Chris Benoit couldn't cut promos, but Chris Benoit was a fucking wrestling
He had
machine.
intensity to him.
Yeah.
He
Oh
needed
God,
it.
yeah. He didn't need to talk. He was
Nope.
like Bret Hart. Him and
Yeah.
Bret Hart, like you just hope Bret Hart never talked.
And like Iakea knew tricks, you know, in the ring. He could do some cool looking stuff, but he didn't have the same like sense of underdog like Rey Mysterio had. He didn't have the intensity of Benoit. They're just it's like he was really good at one part of the job, but not the all around package.
Yeah.
My problem with him is the furniture. It never came with the proper directions, and I just
Exactly.
really hated that about him.
It's like, where's the fucking bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, there was
And his
there was a
Swedish
lot of guys.
meatballs they're not made of meat anymore.
We get a recap of the Benoit Sullivan feud, and then next, okay, who remembers when Michael Cole turned heel in WWF and he was in the Cole pit, and it lasted far too long, and then he finally had to face Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, the
Vaguely.
producer of that match, Dean Malenko, goes against Chavo Guerrero Jr., making his Nitro debut.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Chavo, I always liked Chavo. That man.
I
They-
love
they-
Pepe the horse or whatever. Like,
Don't take my horse, Pepe. Yeah.
it's fucking
Yeah, dude.
awesome.
Dude, my boy, my best friend Cheo is Mexican dude. He used to do that shit because we would go either like I would record it at my house and then we'd go over to his house to watch it too some nights. And yeah, he would do that shit. He'd get a goddamn broom and he'd run around with that fucking broom. Hey, it's my horse, Pepe. Don't touch it.
Fucking love
But no.
that. And you know, Prince Iakea was jealous. Like, why didn't I get a Pepe?
You
Right.
know the funniest thing
Chavo.
about Chavo later on, and I could never get out of my head like all the wonderful things that he's done in the ring, even when he was doing stuff with Eddie.
I
The
know what you're
only
gonna
thing
say.
I remember is that commercial for the hair club for men. That's all I can
Yeah.
remember now.
I was thinking you were going with the Kerwin White angle because if it ain't all white, it ain't all right.
That's
Don't tell me
racist.
I'm the only one.
Yes.
Don't tell me I'm the only one that remembers Kerwin fucking
I
White.
remember Kerwin.
He came down to
another
Frank
one of
Sinatra.
Vince's wonderful ideas.
Chavo dyed his hair blonde and came down to the ring in a golf cart to Frank Sinatra.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That didn't
La
last long.
raza.
You can keep going out to Sinatra. That
This was-
family
this-
is,
This was a good match. Oh,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead, Vinny. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
no, just saying. Yeah, that family, they pulled it off of Married with Children when it was like on Hulu or something. They did some
Really?
kind of weird generic fucking music, yeah, for a while.
Ah,
I think they finally did pay them out again, but yeah, they had like some generic shitty music, like a version of it, because the
What, for
Sinatra
the
family were
theme?
dicks.
yeah. That's
yo,
what you're talking about, the theme.
Jesus.
That's why owning physical media is so important, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It
you don't
can't
see
be altered.
Jericho come out on the first episode of Thunder to the walls of Jericho because it's just not right. It's
Yeah, that
just
doesn't.
not right.
I'm gonna play it on my phone and mute the TV.
So yeah, again, like Etep was saying, good debut for Chavo. Really fun match. Can't
Mhm.
get enough luchas right now. But in WCW fashion, he loses his first match. He gets tied up in the Texas Cloverleaf, taps out. Not a bad match. And that takes us into hour 2 with Eric Bischoff and Bobby Heenan now on commentary. Now, here's someone I always liked, and I feel like he could have been a really strong U.S. heavyweight champion. It's just they never really put the machine behind him, but Ming versus Ice Train.
Dude, Ming was one of the Undertaker's top enforcers, I think, in Wrestler's Court in the locker room.
Yeah, he was part of that clique.
Nice.
The Bone Street clique or
Yeah.
Bone Street crew. Ming is legit like one of the strongest guys in any locker room he was ever in. Like that man was a physical anomaly. He was just a big, thick, strong son of a bitch. And yeah, Tony, you were talking about like in like the wild Samoan type gimmick. Ming had that, man. I liked the Faces of Fear, him and the Barbarian as a tag team. When I get down on No Mercy, because I created both of them on there. I love working matches with them against like Taker and Kane and stuff like that. Yeah, Ming is just a big badass. He actually got King of the Ring as Haku in the Fed.
Nice.
At one point, yeah.
Okay, could you imagine if there was ever a time frame where it could have happened, which I know it didn't, but imagine Ming working with Umaga.
Oh, dude, if you put those two together,
I think they're like cousins or brothers.
They are. They're Samoan. They're Samoan. They're all related.
Yeah.
Should I not have
family.
said that?
No, it's
they
like,
are.
It's true.
It's
like,
true. They're all the
family.
All the
Roman
Samoans.
Reigns is related to him.
Yep. They're all related. They're all
The
cousins.
Rock
and
and
shit.
Roman Reigns are cousins. Yeah, the OH family or what? I can't think of it right now, but yeah, they're all related.
I think the only odd man out was Snooker, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Jimmy wasn't related to any of them. No, I like the Samoan Gangster Party in ECW. It was Sammy and Slick, Sammy and Silk. Yeah, they were the Fatus. It was a 3-minute warning.
You think if Snooker was related to them, they would have helped cover up some of the murders?
Probably. in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
The point of this match is that Ice Train and Scott Norton are going to meet. They just broke up as Fire and Ice. They're going to meet at WCW Hog Wild. So, this ends in a DQ with Scott Norton interfering. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, again, these people were... It's different when you have the Steiner brothers and Scott finally turns on his brother and you can't wait to see Rick get his hands on him. These motherfuckers were together for like 3 days and lost every match they were in.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, we're splitting up or whatever. And then we had Teddy Long like, you guys shouldn't break up. But they never did anything else with that. It's like, what the fuck?
Teddy's like, let me holler at you, player. Tonight, you in a match against The Undertaker.
Yeah, it's like, what are you so upset for, Teddy Long? It's not like they're a 6-man tag team.
Yeah.
They should have had him like be a moderator between them two, and then like get them like focused and had them as a manager for the tag team. That would have worked.
But how many times do they just do that? They'll start a storyline, go nowhere with it, and like 2 weeks later, just pivot somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's like when you get a new toy, like a kid gets a new toy that they think they really want, and they get bored with it quick, and they just stop playing with it. That's what they did with Fire and Ice, which from now on I shall refer to them only as a song of ice and fire.
Or Ebony and Ivory.
It was such a melody, Ebony and Ivory. Yeah. But no, yeah, there's literally zero build to this match at the pay-per-view other than it's going to be a fucking hoss fight.
Yeah, there's no heat to it.
No, and
who's
Norton,
the babyface?
It'd have to be Ice Train, honestly. Like Norton, I don't in WCW. Now I don't know about Japan, but in WCW, I never could see him as a baby. Like. Even when they were kind of working baby when they did. Well, no, they never really did because they debuted against the Steiners. They were automatically a heel.
It's because Japan was based though, so of course Scott Norton would be a baby face there. He's fucking badass.
Yeah, I never understood like why they didn't. I remember because like I always liked him. I was like, dude, he had so much potential. And then you learned, like I learned later on about his career in Japan, and it's like. What the hell is wrong with them? Like, why did you not book this guy better?
Yeah. Like, I can see, like, because, all right, Prince Albert was another one that was big in Japan, but he was okay. He was just
He wasn't-
mainly size, but Scott Norton, he had a certain intensity to him as well.
He did. He was like a much bigger Benoit. Like that was
Yeah.
and yeah, you could buy him as a guy you would see in a bar, and the dude will just like toss somebody through a window at any point
Oh,
in the
yeah.
night. You know what I mean? Like that was the thing with Scott Norton. He had like that everyman look to him. Like this is just a big ass barrel chested dude with 26-inch arms who, you know, he looks like he could lift the front end of a truck up and
Yeah.
probably does, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. So we get a quick recap of the formation of the NWO, and they've been drip feeding the NWO so far, just little spots here and there. So we kind of go through that, just the little things they've done, and then we get Eddie Guerrero versus Psychosis, rematch from 2 weeks ago. Eddie chants are starting, which is pretty awesome. He debuted a few months ago and wasn't really well known. Now he's really starting to get, the attention of the fans. So we get Eddie's sweet power bomb that he's doing. His power bombs always snap. They just look really good.
Yeah.
But he ends up beating Psychosis with the frog splash in about 8 minutes. And he's going to actually face Ric Flair for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship at Hog Wild. Good times. I'm glad he's getting a little bit of shine right now. Then we get the main event, which is the Horseman sans Flair, Arn Anderson, Benoit, and Steve McMichael versus Sting, Randy Savage, and Lex Luger. What do you think, Etep?
I thought it was a solid match, really.
What's that, Draven?
Terry Funk was in Roadhouse, bro? Really?
He was one of the
I don't
bad
remember
guys'
seeing him.
thugs. Yep, I own that one.
He was one of the
I own
thugs.
that.
Nice.
Yeah, he was one of the I can't remember the main bad guy's name. The dude that was in, I think he was in Dallas at one point.
Yeah, I
But
can't
yeah,
remember.
he was one of his goons. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he
beat
was funky.
he beat up Sam Elliott, and Terry Funk was in Over the Top too with Robert Loggia.
Oh shit.
Revolution.
So
But,
I was a little confused at this part real quick, Etep, because
What's that?
all right, here towards the end of the match, okay, the girls have been helping the Horsemen cheat this whole time. Woman grabs Flair's hands whenever he has someone in a figure four. They're throwing coffee on people, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But Deborah goes to give the whatever the steel suitcase to her husband.
The Halliburton. The Halliburton.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that company? Cheney owns.
Yep.
She goes to give him the Halliburton, and woman stops her.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's like, why are you stopping her from giving your team the advantage? And I just didn't understand where that was coming from.
It was never really acknowledged, I don't think, was it?
No,
I didn't catch anything.
Savage, with woman stopping Deborah from handing the Halliburton briefcase to their own teammates, Savage ends up getting a hold of it. Who does he whack over the Benoit? He whacks Benoit over the back. And Luger makes the cover for the 1, 2, 3. And considering it was Benoit who got whacked, and considering everything that happened at Bash at the Beach with her running out with Kevin Sullivan, and kind of seems like she's in cahoots with Sullivan, but without the Taskmaster right here, it just kind of like didn't translate very well. We have
the gift of hindsight at this point. Back then you didn't really pick that up, I mean, because it was such a blinker you'll miss it moment.
And especially if you didn't watch the pay-per-view,
exactly.
They haven't acknowledged it the past few weeks since the pay-per-view, and then it just picks up again after 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
So Gene Okerlund interviews Sting, Savage, and Luger. They vow revenge on the Outsiders and Hogan. And that's really it. No Flair on the show, no Hogan on the show. Not much going on tonight. Did they didn't the Outsiders take over the
They
room?
went into the truck, yep. The control room. They were bullying the producers
during
and stuff.
one of the fucking matches? Like
it was during the Alex Wright for the homoerotic 8-man tag match.
Yeah, okay. That's when
Yep. They
so that wasn't much. Like all they did was walk through and fucked with a couple faders and then walked out, and that was it.
Yep.
And then they fucked with Sting later in the show too, or whatever.
Oh yeah. They jumped Sting.
Back, while after Luger went back in.
Oh, that was WCW. That was a clip from WCW Saturday Night.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait.
Luger and Sting were leaving the arena.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Yeah. They had Luger called back in and kicked Sting's ass, and we got no movement on that besides the promo at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, something big happened over this week, and Draven, would you like to tell everybody, who you got to meet from Party of 5?
Oh, I got to meet Nev Campbell.
Yeah, let's take a look.
And I got to meet the rest of the cast of Scream as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's pretty awesome.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Horror Hound ends. Everybody goes home or back to their hotel rooms. Nev Campbell goes back to her hotel rooms. But the paparazzi, seeing as how we're such big stars now, the paparazzi actually caught some footage of Draven after Horror Hound. It's probably not very flattering. How we talk about like that weirdo who was grabbing Trish Stratus by the ribs and just like those certain fans.
Yep. I was a gentleman and a scholar.
During Horror Hound, you definitely were, but
you were.
We need to talk about after the show.
I'm kind of curious, though, Draven, who was the other chick in the pink?
Oh, that was proper.
I know.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah. It's the moment. Are you ready?
Justin Proper's hot pants. Yeah. So anyway,
is he on those hormones? No.
This video surfaced on TMZ, and we figured it's best to get out in front of this before the rumors really get everywhere. It's like if they catch you doing something wrong, you just kind of admit it.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, like the politicians who are, oh no, I'm not gay, when they're giving blowjobs to choir boys. It's like, just admit it. And people Travolta? Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
So this is official.
He got in my head. That's why I had to shave it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is official footage from TMZ. Some paparazzo sold it to him. And, well, let's take a look. Nev Campbell's hotel room.
Got the magic stick. I know if I could hit once, I could hit twice.
Oh, that shit's great. That is so good. Oh, that's funny as fuck, dude.
So we all make mistakes. He had a little bit to drink, and
Nev must be really short because Draven looked huge in that picture.
I'm huge.
She's tiny.
Tremendous.
Yes.
He's huge. Draven's huge. Huge.
Yes, so good time. She looks great for her age. Not even saying she's probably a few years older than me, but I mean, she definitely didn't go the way of Kelly McGillis or maybe Matthew Lillard.
Courtney Cox.
Matthew Lillard was really nice.
I'm sure he is, but he looks like the fucking farmer in that picture where he's standing with his daughter and the pitchfork.
Farmer? He looks like Ed Gein.
He does look like Ed Gein. That's funny.
He's like, come into my house. I'll show you my lamp. I made it out of human skin.
Jamie Kennedy just looks like a homeless dude.
Is that Jamie Kennedy?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that
Holy
was. I thought that was
In
CGH.
between Lillard and Nev.
When did
Yeah,
he start
Draven.
mailing
Draven. I
bombs
thought that
now?
was CJH. Draven.
That's what I thought too.
No.
Who's the guy in the Canadian tuxedo standing next to Proper?
That's Skeet Ulrich.
Is that Skeet Ulrich? All right.
Yep.
All right.
And I
was like,
wanted
he's-
to
he
get
must
them
be
to
the-
sign the photo, but dude, their lines were fucking huge.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
I was talking to a guy that when I was there, and he was saying about like, I want to say maybe like a year or so ago before the new screen came out, like nobody was in their lines. Like nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Now that the new movie's out, everybody like gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It's all about
Humans.
nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, Nev looks great. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many people saw Skyscraper with The Rock, and
I've
she
seen
was,
it.
yeah, like she was in that as his wife or whatever. She looked
Mhm.
good in that too,
Oh,
so
she
good
did.
for her.
I was about to ask that because I haven't seen her in anything. So that's the last movie she did.
She is in House of Cards as well.
Yeah.
With Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I
See-
stopped watching that.
The
Yeah.
last one I remember her. What was the one where it was like witches or something like that?
The Craft.
The crap.
That's the last
Craft.
one I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of them look good in that one.
She
Mhm.
Yep.
she looked good as a heel, as like a bad guy. I like that
Yeah.
because she usually doesn't play that role. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like a childhood crush, like
Oh yeah.
so.
She's
Yeah.
always so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Draven to ask Nev Campbell why Jennifer Love Hewitt doesn't squint anymore, and he wouldn't do that. Nobody wants to see the whites of your eyes, Jennifer.
I'd ask
Did
that.
you ask her why she had a Forrest Whitaker eye?
God damn.
Was it a Weinstein situation?
It's
Oh
terrible.
no.
I also got to meet Ruby Soho
Hail
as
Brahma.
well,
Yes.
since we're talking about wrestling, and
Yeah.
John Moxley
Yeah, Moxley's
and
fucking-
Mark DeCoste.
He should have been the next big thing in wrestling, but Vince is all Seth. It's like, what the fuck, Vince?
I can kind of understand why it may not have worked over in WWE because he's like super awkward, like talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he's just like a regular dude that just loves to fucking wrestle, and he
Yep.
just so happens to be on TV.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. I've heard him too a few times, and yeah,
Well,
Who,
he
Moxley?
Yeah,
should have
Moxley.
put him with Heyman then because he has fucking
Yeah.
presence during the Shield. Like it
Mhm.
felt like Roman was the muscle, but in the background, and Seth was just the other background member. It felt like Moxley was front and center in that group.
Yeah,
He's
I
the one
felt-
that stood
Yep.
out.
I felt like out of that group, like he had a little bit of not a lot. I'd say he had like that kind of Piper vibe to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's I was gonna say he was like a modern day Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
sorry, I
yeah,
don't even-
his look and his build and everything. Yeah, it was more of like a common type guy, you know.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he was a little bit more relatable. And yeah, I see
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying there, Tony.
Yep.
They did put him front and center because they really did make him out to be the leader of the Shield initially.
yeah.
Vince
Well,
Vince
He was getting
Vince
the bigger pops. I mean, didn't they give him one of the belts too? At a point,
They
he,
I think he
Yeah.
he
did.
had
get the belt.
they were
did
gonna
he have the US heavyweight?
I thought he had the Intercontinental.
Intercontinental, I mean.
see, they were going to do something with him because about a year before the Shield debuted, and when they did, I was like, finally. I was waiting for Moxley to finally make his appearance. They were raving about him in OVW.
Mhm.
He started having a small feud with Mick Foley. Like it wasn't on TV,
Mhm.
but they had it on like WWE.com or whatever. Vince is or Mick is giving a some kind of promo, cutting some kind of promo, and Moxley squares up to him, and they start going back and forth. And they were going to bring it over to TV and make it this big deal, and then they just canceled the storyline for some reason.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Vince didn't like him because he worked with a shirt on. Seriously, and he wasn't big.
yeah,
That's why Vince soured on him. Rollins wasn't that big, but Rollins looked bigger than he is. Like I got a picture of me and him together, and we're the same goddamn size. That was in like 2006 or 2007 or 8.
He's short though too,
big
ain't
in
he?
AEW.
He's probably 6 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
I was a couple inches taller than he is.
Pretty big in AEW. Like if you put him next to Eddie Kingston, I mean, he's fucking pretty yoked.
He's about, I don't know, I haven't seen him in a while. I know he used to work at about 225, 230 in that range. I don't know how tall he is though, Moxley.
Looking up his stuff.
Yeah. Moxley,
I'm like 5'9".
6'2".
I sent you.
Yeah, 6'2". Yeah, I know he was a
225.
Yeah, so he's he's my size basically.
Yeah. Rollins was the shorter one out of all of them.
Yeah, like I said, Rollins, like physically, like he looked like he'd be a little bit bigger than he is.
Yeah,
he
does have
he's an
wide,
asshole.
Yeah, he's got wide shoulders and he's got like he's got that chest, and he kind of he tapers to that V the way that he is. But yeah, he is.
He's not that big.
He's a bitch and a half. Oh,
yes, he is.
Can we see that clip again when he gets speared by a fan? Oh no, we can't show it. Shit, they'll get hit.
Becky Lynch.
No, I think we
Lynch
can
pegs
show
him.
that because it's fan footage. It's not
okay.
official
WWF footage.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Jamie, pull it up.
Got it.
Yeah, you can find it on like TMZ Sports.
Yeah, that always makes the day better. Seeing Rollins go down. We need a JR bite on a soundbite on top of that.
Hang on, let me get to the point. Where's the video?
I need
This
the
idiot will
JR soundbite of him calling Kenny Omega the WWE champion.
Huh. All right,
Or when
here we go.
Paul White's in AEW just fucking shit up and JR, it's the big show. Like, come on.
Oh, it's
Here we
a
go.
big slow.
You sons of bitches.
All right, here
Balls.
we go.
Released a statement saying WWE takes the safety of its performers very seriously. The individual who attacked Seth Rollins has been turned over to the NYPD and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We know that is exactly what's happening. Now, it was kind of crazy for the fans watching on television.
He's grabbing that guy's junk. Did you see that?
That's funny because like
Go back just a couple of seconds. Look at that. Rollins is all grabbing the guy's junk. He forgot where he was.
see, hang on. There it is, right there.
He thought he was in the back, and McMahon was on top of him.
Rollins is like, "Are we at the Love's truck stop at 3 a.m. already?"
It's not Pat Patterson, buddy.
The referee was whooping that guy's ass. Like Rollins was laying there just taking it.
Just trying to push, and he couldn't.
So are you saying that Rollins is a receiver?
Oh yeah,
That's what it looks like.
definitely.
It's like when
Yeah,
the football players used to beat him up in high school. He's just like, no, stop.
He's a catcher, not a pitcher.
We'll take one more. We'll take one more look here. We'll mute it. Look at. Yeehaw! Rollins can't even hold him in a front face. That's funny.
Nope. And they
Like, he
ruined him,
could-
man. They didn't even show the actual when the guy does get him. It's just
Let's
he's already in
see.
his arms.
I remember on one of the Raws when CM Punk was still around, he like escaped into the crowd. He did something to one of the heels and escaped into the crowd and was like sitting there
Oh, there it
holding
is.
his fucking title. But one of the fans kept like slapping him in the back. Like a grown dude was like, yeah, and slapping CM Punk in the back. Next thing you know, he just turns around and starts wailing on the dude, and the camera's cut off real quick. And yeah,
Dude,
that was fun.
somebody did that to Big Vito in Detroit. My buddy, I didn't get to go. He went to I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but Big Vito was like right by the, you know how WWE is, those big black padded guardrails. Well, he was fighting somebody, leaning over it, and somebody like fucking rubbed his head, and he like stopped what he was doing, like whoever he was fighting with, and started swinging at the motherfucker that touched his head.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So if you ever meet Big Vito, do not touch his head. And Seth Rollins, look
Oh,
out!
bitch.
Here comes. Well, it's not Goldberg. This is Blickberg, eh?
You know who was
Red
just
Pants.
so much more talented than Seth Rollins?
Mhm.
Anybody?
Moxley.
Yep.
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 Bow.
And then I got my picture of with Ruby.
Ruby Soho.
And that's where he pulled.
The thing about
The other
her
thing.
is, I'm like, she
Oh.
just took the Rancid song and made it her name, but it turns
Dude,
out she's actually friends with the lead singer of Rancid, and he said, because she was Ruby Riot in WWE,
Yep.
he was like, you should be Ruby Soho, and you can use the song and everything. So
Nice.
that's
cool.
pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Hail
was like
Phoenix
super nice.
Animation.
There was like nobody in her line. I felt really bad. So I like, got an
Wait a
autograph
minute.
and
You
stuff.
felt really bad being in her line?
No. I felt really bad because nobody was like, because I was gonna wait till Sunday to get her to sign the pro photo and stuff. But Saturday I went over and like talked to her and we struck up a conversation for a little bit and then got a selfie with her and whatnot. And I
Did
wasn't
her
gonna do
breath
that.
stink?
But
Well,
yeah.
whatever happened to her anyway? Was it injuries that drove her out?
She's in AEW now, I think.
Yeah.
Vince.
No,
is
but
in
I mean, originally her run with WWE, was it injuries that drove her out?
I don't know if it was injuries, but they weren't like they wouldn't push her
Yeah.
because what was it? What's it? Rhea Ripley, and there was another one that has the same look as her, and they were like super popular. And there's like 3 of them that kind of had the same kind of look.
Yeah.
And basically, she was the one that they decided to cut.
They've yet to provide a reason for releases, but it is believed that it's the result of a budget cut necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic.
I know what it was. She wrestled with a shirt as well.
Yep. I'll turn Rhea Ripley back straight again.
Rhea Ripley. Oh, I don't like her.
I'll take that big bitch.
So I just want to watch this real quick before we go into that second week. Just fucking backhands him. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And that was like they caught that right on WWF cameras. Like,
That's
wow.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
They cut away real quick.
Mhm.
When
Yeah,
you're at the
that's when he was getting it in his head that he could be an MMA fighter.
Yeah. Yeah,
When
that was
you're-
close to the end of his WWE run, definitely.
when you're at the zoo, you don't stick your hand in the animal cage.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And yeah, I thought it was
That's
his bad.
ads.
Yeah, like the dude slapped him on top of his head and fucking turned around and backhanded him.
Yeah. That's pretty hilarious.
I thought I was gonna have to deck a fan that when it was a dude I was wrestling. It was his mom's boyfriend. I was like, man, I almost have to fuck his old ass up. He like squared up with me. He squared up with me. I'm like, and he'd come up to about here. I went like this. I flexed on him like that, and the motherfucker almost fell over. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, he was like 65 years old. I'm like, don't make me go New Jack on Gypsy Joe with this old son of a bitch. Like, please don't.
That's nice.
Didn't Moxley have a great match with him?
Gypsy Joe
No.
or New Jack? New Jack? I don't know. I don't know if he ever
I'm
worked
not
him.
sure.
He did have some good matches in Ring of Honor.
He
Oh,
has some
and,
pretty bloody matches.
Oh, Etep, there was
Yeah,
three
Definitely.
intercontinental title runs, and he did get the WWE Championship once.
Yeah.
Before
Moxley did?
WWE,
All right.
yeah, before WWE
All right.
let him go.
Nice.
It looks like New Jack and Moxley, they had a landmine death match, fire something.
CZW?
Yeah, I
New
remember
Jack
seeing one of
versus
those.
John Moxley, a double tables match.
Wow. I feel sorry for anyone who went against New Jack. Fucking- What a psycho.
Especially after fucking, well, yeah, dude. New Jack, he tried to kill Vic Grimes, but to be fair, Vic Grimes had that shit coming. I mean, Vic Grimes almost
Yeah.
killed him.
But even before that, it's just fucking this guy was just a psycho.
Mass transit. Hey, I want to get color. Okay.
Yeah. Like, and that was not ECW's fault. Dude came in saying he was of
He
age.
lied. He lied about his age.
Yeah. So, the week of July 29th, 1996, our second week, Raw is emanating again from the Key Arena in Seattle, Washington. And again, they were stomped by WCW. Raw pulled a 2.1 this week. WCW pulled a 3.1. So, full ratings point. Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon are the commentators again. We get a little recap of for what they were calling him at the time, Farouk Assad, rushing in on Ahmed Johnson and kicking his ass. And again, this kicks off about a 2-year storyline that nobody cares about, but we kept getting for some reason. Psycho Sid comes out to the ring to a pretty big reaction. They were happy to see him. So fuck Seattle fans. They were like, I ain't never heard Psycho Sid get that kind of a pop. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what's wrong with you? First Antifa and now this. Like,
well, technically, wouldn't it be this first, then Antifa?
Nope. So, yeah, Psycho Sid goes against Justin Hawk Bradshaw, which ends with Bradshaw hitting Sid with a cowbell for the DQ. Then Sid kind of fights off the 2-on-1 attack with Justin Bradshaw and Uncle Zebekiah. So, yeah, that was that. We go backstage and Farouk in his gladiator helmet. Again, the Netflix adaptation of 300. Farouk is with Sunny. She calls Farouk the real modern-day gladiator and the champion of the 90s. How wrong was she? He tells Ahmed that they're not brothers and there's no rules in street fighting. Ahmed's always mumbling about how to do something on the streets. Psh, that dude lives in Mississippi. What does he know about the streets? A match that never happens between Oh, okay. So I guess this match doesn't happen, but it's announced that Ahmed and Farouk are wrestling at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title. But don't worry, kiddies. There's a whole lot more of Ahmed and Farouk to come.
Yay.
So we get Vader versus Mark Marrow. Vader's with Jim Cornette. Marrow's with Sable. Yeah. Marrow avoids the Vader bomb, but then he gets a power slam by Vader for the 1-2-3. Not a horrible match. Went a little over 6 minutes. Cornette tells Vince that he wants Jose Lothario to meet him out in the ring. Because look, you may not see your favorite superstars every week, but Jose Lothario is going to fucking be there.
Well, what more could you ask for than Jose Lothario?
Yeah. So they go to a break and come back, and Vince meets with Jim Cornette and Edward James Olmos in this very ring. Cornette talks about how he's going to get back at Lothario for beating him up at the free-for-all portion of the Last in Your House. Shawn Michaels is watching on the monitor backstage. Cornette calls Lothario a has-been, blah, 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 and Vader's going to defeat Shawn Michaels for the WWF title at SummerSlam, but he calls Lothario trash and considers HBK trash as well.
He's not wrong.
I was going to say, he's not far off, I mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, Lothario threatens Cornette.
We were wrong. Look, Tony, Jose Lothario is my wrestling hero, Alec Arcane. There it is. Somebody tunes in to see it. Jose Lothario.
Don't. He was a good, like, he wrestled.
He's joking.
He was a good wrestler. He was back
Nobody
in
wants
his
to see him on
heyday,
Raw.
but there's just something about him that didn't scream late 90s. So yeah, basically Cornette tries to fucking hit him with the tennis racket. Lothario sees it coming and knocks Cornette out of the ring with the right hand. So Cornette blocks him from Twitter. But while this is, yeah,
I'm the only one not blocked by Cornette, probably.
Oh, he blocked me and Tony within like an hour or two of each other. I think.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say to get the block? Was it just like one word?
Talking
was
about
complaining.
vaccinations.
Yeah, he was complaining about
Oh,
people who
yeah,
won't
yeah.
go and get it. And
I remember.
I don't even remember what I said to him, but he fucking blocked me. I know what I said cut deep, though. So,
Walking for China.
while this is happening, Mankind ambushes Shawn Michaels from behind with the mandible claw, which is kind of like he's been focused on Taker this whole time, you know?
Yep.
So, we get an Aldo Montoya promo.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah. It's like, and he's yeah, he wants a rematch against Jerry Lawler, so that's gonna happen next week on Raw. They really know how to sell their product. Like, are you serious? Aldo versus Jerry?
What was funny was when Lawler was dumping the freaking whiskey in his face. That shit was funny.
I hated whenever Lawler would wrestle, and they still were doing it recently, like 10 years ago or so. They're like, well, you're going to wrestle against Jerry Lawler. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Why? Why? The guy who had like 5 heart attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we get me title shot versus Henry Godwin.
Now we're talking about the misses, right?
Yeah, where is Diana Hart? Like, she just disappeared after the fucking In Your House.
Well, after he didn't win me title shot, she
Yeah.
was like, "Look, I can't hang out with you anymore. You're a fucking loser." Hail Glinzer.
Can we get one of the Harts besides Owen on TV, please?
She's secretly
Enough
banging
is enough,
Shawn
and it's time for a change.
Of course she is.
So, Bulldog wins this one with the running power slam. What was that, Etep?
I was gonna say Shawn Michaels is banging everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonny, Marty Jannetty.
Yep.
British Bulldog's wife.
Mhm.
He married one of the Spice Girls.
Did he really?
Girls. One of the Nitro Girls.
Oh,
It was one of the Nitro Girls. Spice. The Nitro
Spice.
Girl
I liked
Spice
Spice. That was my favorite.
was his,
She
I think that was,
was way too hard for him.
yeah.
Did they divorce?
Yeah, Spice was my favorite.
I can't remember. I'll look it up. That's more interesting than Raw.
We get some hype packages
Paint
of
drawing is more interesting than
Yeah. We get some hype. It'll get good here. So we get some hype packages of Mark Henry deadlifting 903 pounds. Just hyping him up as the world's strongest man.
Was he picking up Lizzo?
I don't know if anyone's that strong.
Her calves are.
It's funny too because they're advertising that he's going to be at the weightlifting competition at the Summer Olympics on Tuesday night, but Kurt Angle again, he's also there, winning a gold medal and breaking his neck. So good times.
These things happen.
I have to file an addendum to my previous statement. He was not married to Spice. He was married to Whisper, who is one of my favorites. She's like 5'9". And yeah, he's inexplicably still married to her. She's only a couple of years older than us. She's only 48. Still looks good.
Nice.
Rebecca Kersey Hickenbottom. Yeah.
Spice is always my
Looking
favorite.
bottom.
So, our main event of the evening, The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's a rematch from a couple weeks ago. This one was pretty good. It was, again, fun to see Austin wrestle Taker, especially before Owen intentionally broke his neck. Taker hits him with the choke slam, and he picks up Austin for the tombstone. I could have sworn he tombstoned Austin here, but Mankind appeared. That's what happened. Mankind appears. Taker lets go of Austin, goes to brawl. And look, before it was Mankind beating the shit out of Taker. This time, Taker was swinging the fuck back. I mean, they were going at it down the fucking aisleway. Austin wins by count out, even though Undertaker's getting hit by someone who isn't in the match. But Austin wins. I think that'd be a DQ.
Right.
Yeah, Taker beats Mankind back towards the locker room. Okay, this is then he returns to the ring and delivers a tombstone to Austin. I'm like, I could have sworn Austin got tombstoned. Pretty good match. It's always interesting to see them wrestle when Austin, wasn't quite at that level yet. And really, if you look at Taker's later WrestleMania matches, he wasn't either. He was over, he was popular, he was a superstar, but his best ring work is coming like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
late bloomer.
Yeah. Vince meets Taker and Paul Bearer in the ring, and the Boiler Room Brawl at SummerSlam. Mankind will finally rest in peace. And that was good, too, because Vince is going to talk to Paul Bearer, and fucking Taker just grabs Vince's hand and pulls it to his fucking mouth, and he does the talking. And he's ready to fight. It's been a couple weeks, little over a month of Mankind kicking his ass, so... It's a pretty strong finish to a week episode of Raw.
Yeah, well, that's why you need the heavy hitters to fix up that mess.
Yeah. But it's nothing compared to what's going on Nitro right now. Even when they do have the weird, creepy, softcore 90s porn, you still got other things like the NWO and Sting, and you've just got a lot bigger names right now on WCW.
Yeah.
Speaking of big names, just for the record, Uncle Zebekiah is Dutch Mantel.
Yeah.
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 I heard Luger slamming Liz Ozuna on the Navy ship.
Yeah.
Good way to end. That's what she said.
Hey, when do they do the actual the inductees to the Hall of Fame? Is it like the Saturday night?
It'll be the night before, I believe.
Okay.
It's Saturday.
Yeah. It's usually the night before WrestleMania.
It's two nights this year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 nights.
I hate the 2-night thing. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense.
You gotta get ready for Steiner, damn it.
Directly after SmackDown, it'll stream live on Peacock at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, this Friday. Good times.
I'm gonna probably watch it.
Morbius Thursday.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. I like the Hall of Fame. I like hearing them talk. And...
If I had Peacock, I would. But I was gonna say, if somebody could record the Steiner bit, because I'm sure it'll be an instant classic.
I'll record that. I'll screen record it.
Sweet.
Steiner. And Hulk Hogan, if you were here, I'd tell you to go fuck yourself.
We should actually watch WrestleMania, trying to think when I'm free Thursday. But it's this weekend. That is right.
I haven't watched one of the 2-day WrestleManias yet, which I kind of didn't like, but at the same time, they were starting to get to be like 6 hours long. So, when it was still on a single night. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense to go to 2 nights and make it an entire weekend. It's definitely interesting. It's something they hadn't done before all this, the pandemic and everything. But the single ones were getting to be so long. So
I saw an older interview with with Steiner, like maybe 2016, and he was talking about some of the Hogan stuff. He goes,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, I tried to go after him hard." He goes, "I called his daughter a whore, his ex-wife, his son, pieces of shit." Like, he goes, "I did everything. I want to get a reaction out of him." He goes, "Hogan's such a pussy." Because that's why he tried to get him arrested at the airport. They lied and said he was threatening them and grabbed Hogan's girlfriend or something. He goes, "I didn't do that." He goes, "I would have been in jail if it wasn't for the cameras." That's how much of a pussy he is.
And
So
if
he's
I
like
had half
Steiner.
the brain that he did,
That's it.
He's like Steiner Rittenhouse. He'd be in jail if it weren't for the cameras.
Yeah,
Steiner Rittenhouse.
So Monday Nitro, emanating again from the Disney MGM studios. This week's a little better than last week.
Hey, do we want to show the pictures that go along with it on Wikipedia? We have some pictures. So we
Sure.
So we can have something on the screen here.
Sure. So, just a little side note, during the WCW house shows this weekend, Steiner's traded back and forth with Harlem Heat, the WCW tag titles. So they are now 6-time WCW World Tag Team Champions. No. Harlem Heat is 6-time WCW Tag Team Champions.
You gotta say
Steiner's
it 5
are
more times.
yeah. Steiner's are 3-time champs. And these, yeah. Like, again, the Miz shouldn't have more WWF title runs than Roddy Piper, but it is what it is. So, our number one, Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko, this is the first week. He calls the NWO the New World Order.
Yep.
Yeah.
The wit and wisdom of Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah. And this is actually right here is the Saturday night. They show the clips of WCW Saturday night where they call Luger back in and beat up Sting.
Yep. They use the trunk of the car to beat the shit out of him.
No wonder why.
Yeah.
So, Jim Duggan versus Mike Enos. Enos. Yeah. Duggan hits the taped up fist for the win.
Bullshit. Justice for Mike Enos. Fuck Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Justice for the Mauler. Fuck Hacksaw.
Gene Okerlund.
He pulls tape out of his tights. What a bitch.
Gene Okerlund grabs an interview with Duggan concerning Hogan and the NWO. Duggan feels betrayed. I don't know if he knew many words besides that.
Well, look at Duggan. Every promo Duggan ever got. Well, listen here, tough guy. Ho! That's basically it right there. That's it. That was the Hacksaw Jim Duggan promo
Pretty
in a
much.
nutshell. Except I didn't drool, and you couldn't tell if one of my eyes was going the wrong direction or not. But you get the gist.
He was a retard.
He was a retard.
So we get a 6-man close to a rematch from last week. Sting, Luger, and Savage versus Benoit, McMichael, and Flair. And of course, they're with the ladies again. There's a double count out in this match because while they're wrestling this match, Jimmy Hart runs out and starts screaming, "The Outsiders are back, come help." So this is where we get the big fight scene where Rey Mysterio gets started into the production trailer. And
he literally runs out of the trailer and jumps, and fucking Nash catches him and then throws him like a lawn dart.
Yes.
Ray sold the shit out of that too. I'm not gonna lie.
He was the one shouting, "There were 4 of them. There were 4 of them," and everyone's worried. Arn Anderson's fucked up. The Outsiders came with baseball bats, and again, Ray said, there weren't 3 of them. There was 4. Arn Anderson was messed up. The American Males, A
What did
few
he hit?
peop-
He hit Riggs with like, was it like a fucking megaphone or a coffee pot that was sitting there?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
it
just
looked like
grabbed something.
it looked like a light or what, like one of the lights
Yeah,
or whatever.
something like that. Yeah.
He just grabbed something big and blick and hit him in the head with it, bud. That's
Yeah,
what he
pretty
did.
much.
And
Ahmed
this is
Johnson?
the first time Rey Mysterio's unmasked on TV.
He had his
It
hands.
covers his face. Yeah.
And it won't be the last.
The announcers, the announcers really put that over too.
Yeah.
Which was good on their part. It really was. It was a good job. Like they did good putting that over.
So-
And the funniest dialogue though was Eddie and Alex Wright when they were loading Ray into the ambulance, because you got Alex Wright, who I think is legit German. Like,
Yeah, he is.
he has a very thick accent. Then you got Eddie Guerrero and Ray's yelling, Eddie, and he's Eddie, what do you mean for? And Alex like, I'm gonna go with him, Eddie, you got a match. I'm gonna go with him, and Alex is getting there going, I don't know.
This is what kind of sucks too, because they lose all their talent. All their talent is selling injuries. So we stick with this for like a good 20 minutes. The fucking crowd is chanting boring because, again, they didn't have the foresight to put an actual screen out by the audience so they could see what was happening. So they just saw fire trucks pulling in and ambulances and fucking an empty ring. So they're chanting boring during one of the most like pivotal times in professional wrestling. And because of this, now we get a lot of okay matches. The Steiners were supposed to go up against the American males. Instead, they're going up against High Voltage.
I like High Voltage. I think they could have been a stronger mid-tier tag team as heels. They tried to make them baby faces though.
They just had WCW like worldwide written all over them.
Yeah.
Saturday night towards the end there.
Yep.
Then we get a long fucking match. This here says it was 10 minutes and 47 seconds. This shit felt like a 20-minute match. Eddie Guerrero versus Big Bubba. Holy shit.
Their styles didn't mesh at all.
It was just fucking Big Bubba holding him in a headlock for like ever. And it was one of those matches where they should have had Eddie come back a few times, but every time he'd get momentum, Bubba would knock him back down and just beat him up. And then Eddie finally got a roll-up pin at the end, or a sunset flip. But this was definitely Eddie Guerrero's weakest match I've seen him in since he debuted in WCW. And the fans were behind him, but again, they sold Bubba a little too much. Like Eddie Guerrero should have come back about 4 minutes earlier, so the crowd was starting to run out of steam for him, you know? So
well, yeah, that was the problem. I mean, first of all, you've got Eddie Guerrero working with frickin' Ray Traylor, who's just god awful.
Yeah.
If it's not a hoss fight, Eddie didn't work that style though. You know, they were too incompatible in the ring. If you put Bubba in there with, you know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and say, hey, just go have a hoss fight, you can honestly have like a somewhat decent match because you know what you're gonna get. But yeah, there was really Bubba wasn't willing
Guerrero
to work.
did okay with Lesnar though. He was a little more experienced and a little bigger, but he did okay with Lesnar.
Lesnar was an athlete though. We're talking about Brock Lesnar and Ray Traylor.
Bubba.
Yeah, Ray fucking Traylor was not a fucking real athlete. I mean, let's be honest. You know, this dude was just he was a
shit.
He was just a big old fucking blob of fucking gravy.
It was a big show without the size.
Yep.
So
and no talent.
Yeah. So then we get the first ever NWO black and white promo, and again they debut the logo for it, the music. Hogan must be busy on Thunder in Paradise because he's shown up like once actually in person for the crowd since Crash at the Beat.
Yep.
Then we get Yeah, we get the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, the Giant. And who the fuck was he supposed to go up against? Arn Anderson? Yeah.
Arn
Yeah.
Anderson.
Instead, we get
It-
Greg Valentine.
Oof.
No.
Oof.
So a minute and 41 seconds later, this match was over.
Yep.
Squash.
Pretty much two choke slams, and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so Giant okay, so that Hogan put out the challenge for the Giant to put up his world title at Hog Wild. Giant says the choke slam, brother, it's coming at Hog Wild. And that was the end of the show. So real weak ending for real weak last like hour of WCW Nitro.
Mhm.
But that, NWO segment kind of makes up for it.
Yep.
Well, it was weak as far as matches go, but if you look at just in terms of what the story was they're telling, I mean, yeah, it had to suck for the fans ringside because you don't have a screen to look at. But that's the that's the detriment of being at an outdoor venue like that, is you can't really set that up effectively. But in terms of story, though, I mean, everything was evolving with the NWO versus WCW. So, I mean, it was, what on paper would look weak, but in context, when you watch the show, it's actually better because, like you said, Tony, you get the NWO promo, you got the whole, the beat down backstage, you got Woman really overselling Arn Anderson's injury and incessantly shoving her tits in his face, and lucky Arn Anderson, more lucky he could not have been that night. But no, you do. You really this episode it told the story. It advanced the plot. The NWO, and the promo was fucking great. It was everything I remembered it being.
Not by much, because it's like Hogan's absence is glaring. Like, he just turned heel, one of the biggest moves in his career, and he's shown up for like a 5-minute promo.
Yeah.
Since then, and like even you saw the Outsiders, but didn't see Hogan. Then he had the pre-recorded NWO promo, and it's just like, fuck, we need to get him on the show.
From a booker's perspective, keep him off live TV.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him off live TV because less is more, and it's fresh, and you got Scotty and Kevin. And you want to really put Scotty and Kevin over. So you let Scotty and Kevin do what they do. Just go out, be big-ass, bad motherfucking goons and beat the shit out of people with baseball bats. Be the cool heels. Not even meaning to be the cool heels, but they turned out that way. And have Hulk do the pre-recorded shit. And everybody knows he's going to be at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
So you're just building that anticipation. Then there's always that outside chance. Could he show up on Nitro? And you're watching. It's like, oh shit, but this happened. Like the Outsiders fucking beat up 4 dudes backstage, with baseball bats. And you're like, at the end of it, you're like, oh, then you get the promo with all 3 of them. And it's like, okay, so the pay-per-view's coming. It's like, what else? Now you're thinking, what else are Hall and Nash going to do? Is Hogan going to show up or isn't he? But I would hold him off to the pay-per-view. That's just me. And I've had the book before, and it's like, that's just less is more, I guess.
Yeah, just let it build.
Yeah, that's it. You got to let it percolate, and you're giving them something with the promos, and then having the Outsiders do the legwork. You're still putting the whole angle over, but you've got your new guys which traditionally WCW, we know if you're not going to do anything with them, they bury you when you debut. Ice Train and Scott Norton, so they're really putting these guys over. So yeah, I like the psychology of keeping him off TV. While it sucks, like I said, for the people in attendance. But yeah, it's all the build to the denouement at the pay-per-view with him versus the Giant, for the strap.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a B show because Flair was gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Hogan ain't around. So, and even Hall and Nash, you're getting like seconds of them, maybe 3 minutes of them during the 2-hour broadcast. So it's like, yeah, I guess it's leaving more to be desired, but yeah, it's like the NWO is off to a slow start.
See, I like it. I like the build. I like the way they worked it. No diggity. It
Yeah,
was
like the
like
slow
I said,
burn.
yeah, and for an angle like this, because if you put too much out front too soon with an angle like this, it's people are going to get tired of it way early. You know, they had a good almost 2 years before it really started to get the water started to get muddy. So, you know, doing it like this, you know, you got the turn at Bash the Beach. So now you've got a month build to the next pay-per-view. So it's like, okay, so we got to keep Hulk off live TV, but do vignettes and do things like this, and really, really, you know, in the segments when, you know, Scotty and Kevin are on there, they got to be doing something. Okay, so yeah, the first time they come out, they mess with the production crew. It's like, oh shit, they really are trying to take over the whole show, you know, and they're selling the NWO as another brand altogether. And then, you know, like I said, you go to the second weekend, okay, now it's open warfare on the WCW locker room, you know, so they powerbomb Bischoff, whatever, you know, so and then, or they powerbombed him, you know, a couple weeks ago, and then now you got him baseball batting people, tossing Rey Mysterio. Isn't there a fourth guy? You know, what's going on? It works for the storytelling aspect. I like the decision making. It might take a little bit away in the short term from the TV product, but the long term return is that when you get that pay-per-view, then it's like it's all out in the open. Boom. Okay, so now Hogan starts showing up more. You know, and you have to take into consideration his contract and his creative, you know, too. So as long as the booking was favorable, he wouldn't invoke that. But
so, yeah, I still need more from it. Just a little more. Like, it's been a drip feed, man.
I will argue this to the death with you on this topic, especially when it comes to booking.
Like, take the outsiders after that big angle and put them on the edge of the arena, how they were before, on the edge of the park with a couple microphones, and have them do something. So I want to talk about Paul Heyman a little bit before we wrap it up tonight. And just kind of where WWE and just the professional wrestling industry as a whole would be without him. So we're going to look at this quick list of Heyman guys, and there are plenty more that aren't on this list. So we'll kind of go through them as we can. But, of course, you have Brock Lesnar, Taz to a lesser extent, Cesaro, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Rob Van Dam, Matt Morgan. See, why are they putting these weird guys on here? Where's it the fuck is Stone Cold? And yeah, Big Show was kind of, you know, he really made his debut in WCW though, and went a while. Like, you know, Heyman would have been like mid-career maybe.
Yeah. Because Hogan found Giant.
Yeah.
He found him at a dealership or something, a car dealership, and he played basketball with him for charity.
Hiding right.
They're showing a lot of fucking weird ones, but
yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot more Roman Reigns, Undertaker when he was Mean Mark Calloway, and now
did I see Hennig's kid on there?
Yeah,
he was a Heyman boy. You talk about somebody who I never mind. Curtis Axel, yeah. See, I didn't mind him. I just was like, man, they just jobbed the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah,
he did something to get.
Yeah, he had to have some heat backstage or something, because I'm like, he's a good worker. And he had a good look. He looked like his grandpa, Larry. He looked like Larry the Axe.
There we go.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, WrestleMania is coming up this weekend. Roman Reigns, I mean, who they could not. The hate was so big for Roman Reigns. Like, usually it can work in reverse. Like, you have someone that's really over, you pair someone with them, and by association, the other person starts getting over. Kind of the New Age Outlaws or X-Pac, which they were kind of, but when they were in DX, they were more over than ever,
Oh, yeah.
It worked opposite for Roman Reigns. Like, they were fucking booing The Rock. They hated Roman Reigns so much,
Yeah.
And it took Heyman to come in and really embrace that. And Vince, who's again trying to push against the grain, always against the not in a good way, but against the natural momentum of the fucking fans. And Heyman's like, no, you got to go with it. And look, Roman Reigns, I'm not his biggest fan, but he's doing a lot better now than when I had quit watching wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, because at one point it almost seemed like he was devaluing anybody he got in the ring with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't, admittedly, I haven't watched the current product. I mean, I watched a pay-per-view like about 3 or 4 months ago, I think. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in years.
We should watch Party WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I can't do it.
I mean, the last thing I seen is when Adam invited us over. Me and Red went over and we watched whatever it was. I think it was the
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and that was so god awful. The best thing about that night watching
that's what I watched.
Was Red Eye and Adam cutting that show up in the chat. That was the best part of it.
We kind of went on to Drew's channel and shot on the me and Etep.
Well, speaking of Roman Reigns, that was probably one of the highlights of the night. Because I hadn't seen him in so long, and I heard he was better as a heel, whatever. Him and Seth Rollins actually had a really, really good match until the DQ finish, which there shouldn't be a DQ finish on a title match at one of the big pay-per-views. This
it's lazy.
Affects WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I was surprised. I'm like, okay, Roman Reigns is really coming. He's more confident now that he's not having to go out there and play something that he's not.
With some of those finishes at Royal Rumble, I was surprised fans in the crowd didn't fucking riot. Because of how shit it was.
The women's Rumble was better than the guys.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It was sad.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just the men's Rumble kind of exposed a problem in the WWE. And the only people in it were people who've already been to the show, and it's not very exciting to see them go on. The Rumble and WrestleMania route should be for that up and coming star who know is on the verge of something.
Or that really exciting just last minute signing that they got in, like when they brought in people like AJ Styles and stuff like that. That was cool to see.
Yeah.
But when you're just bringing out old hands that have already been there, I mean, that's not exciting anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, you've got Sheamus and Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble, and fucking that are people who just aren't worthy.
Yeah.
Weird tag partners and
I don't.
The women's Rumble was better. Sadly,
not by much.
Yeah, until the end with Ronda Rousey, but the rest of it was okay.
She's fucking god awful.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey's god awful.
Yeah. I'm into that, bro. You know what?
Insufferable. She's got that. What do we call it, Tony? The go away heat, the go home heat. You're just like.
See, that's how I feel about Lesnar.
That's me with anything Roman Reigns does. I'm just like, meh. I hate saying it. I don't care. I can't stand him. I liked him. I liked him for a minute when I like the Shield. I like the concept.
I like the Shield too.
Because I like stables, but man, when he stepped away from there, I was just like, oh.
You talk about stables that they ruined too. I mean, they ruined the Shield by breaking it up too early, I think.
Oh yeah,
and then they ruined that one that they had with Eric Young.
Team
That and
Canada?
the Wyatt family.
No, they had him in NXT. Sanity.
Oh.
And then they
Oh,
brought
see,
him
I never
over,
watched
and then
NXT.
they just ruined it. They just threw it right into the toilet and did nothing with it. And
The
Eric Young is a good worker, and the guy is entertaining, and they just didn't give
Yeah.
him any kind of room to shine.
I loved him in TNA. I loved Eric Young in TNA. He was so good. He was one of the bright spots in that company that was like homegrown talent. But we're talking
Wyatt-
Lesnar guys. Oh,
well, I was just gonna say the Wyatts are another one that they really fucked up, and it's like the Wyatts and the Shield could have had like a legendary feud.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. That would have been like Freebird level shit.
Yep. And it's like they just don't care anymore. It's like Vince, like the Wyatts had some. Number one, I was waiting for Moxley to debut, so I was happy to see the Shield. I'm like, finally, but the Wyatts, I had just like a feeling about you don't get like almost like when you see Undertaker, it's a rarefied feeling.
Yep.
And they fucked that up in a couple months. Like,
yeah, because even when they brought in what's his name, Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, like they were building something good, and then they just laid all shit to bed.
Yeah.
As much as I respect him as a worker, what's his name? Adam Youngblood, I think isn't that his name or some shit like that? I don't, Adam Shearer. Adam Shearer. I said Adam Youngblood. Adam Shearer. Dude turned out to be a really, really good worker. Solid, really a hell of an athlete. Yeah. But he did not fit with I did not like him when they put him with the Wyatts. I didn't.
Well, his look was retarded.
Yeah.
Like that beard was just a mess. Like you could have given him a better look. Like I know he got more ripped now or something. I've seen him kind of recently. I'm like, dude, he's got presence. Now he really has something.
But just from a standpoint of you have Bray Wyatt in the center, who Mike Rotunda's son, one of his sons. The other one was Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is the other Rotunda kid. And you take Bray and you had Rowan and Harper and what's his name? Luke Harper. God rest his soul. He died. But those three were money. You didn't need anything else. That's putting too much seasoning in the pot. You don't want to do that.
But I think it's like, again, just kind of using him as like that monster, like that kind of surprise every now and then. Like I think it still could have worked, but they needed to change his look up. And like you said,
the look was off.
Yeah, because as they started breaking up the rest of these groups, I mean, like it just started falling apart. It was dumb. It was a dumb decision.
Yeah, well, when they first brought him in, they had him in that stupid black sheep mask too.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was retarded. Like they had potential, but again,
you know what?
He's the Titan now.
Well, they had potential even with them when they started breaking them up and they moving them apart, and they were moving originally Bray Wyatt in the right direction, and then they brought Harper and Rowan back, and they had them as because they came out with those weird sledgehammer things, and they were making them out to be like
the tag team.
Yeah, and that looked good initially, and then they just destroyed it. And like Bray Wyatt, that was just a terrible mistake on WWE part, especially when they put him in the ring with the Undertaker, and he came out with that scarecrow look.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I was like, dude, this is awesome. This is what they should have been doing with this guy from the beginning. Like that it would have been epic if he would have went over on the Undertaker, and they would have built him up to be something more, and they just threw it right in the toilet.
Yeah.
Vince didn't like his body. That's what it boiled down to. Is Vince did not like his look. He didn't like his body. He didn't. That's how Vince is.
Yep.
Alec, yes, the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's his name? The one with Luke, right? Is that the one who died? He got a bad injury. I remember that. He got a really bad injury where he was out for a while. That's why they had to kind of shift shit around too.
Did he go to AEW for a minute?
Brody Lee.
He became leader of the Dark Order in AEW.
He was Luke Harper in WWE, and then he became, I think, Brody Lee in AEW.
That's damn, dude.
I liked how that guy worked, man.
I liked him in the Fed.
They have his son or whatever is like part of the Dark Order right now. Like they bring him out every now and then, just like to honor.
Okay.
Is he
Brody
is
Lee
he
and
not a
stuff.
worker?
No, he's like a little kid.
Oh.
He's just a little kid, and they've given because a couple of the guys wear
so's Dominic.
luchador masks or whatever. And
does his kid already have a beard, Angelous?
And he's -0 or -1 or something.
Alec
like
Arcane said -1.
Yeah, -1. Yeah, so they like have him come out every now and then with them, and he does like the claw because they have a claw thing that they do for Dark Order, and he does that, and
That's funny. He's -1. Our tag team was called the 1%.
Nice.
They were, speaking of little kids, they were dumb enough on the WWE 2K22 game to give me Dominic Mysterio, so I need to hook it up to my computer and stream it, but ladies and gentlemen, you will see Eddie Guerrero versus Dominic Mysterio in a Hell in a Cell, and Dominic's going off that fucking cell.
That's fucked
little
up.
fucker.
Take that. I'm your poppy. I ain't paid no child support either, mijo. Fuck you.
Oh, that's a question. Since you watch AEW, is Pentagon still there?
Yes, he is. He's Dark Pentagon right now.
Oh, Dark Pentagon again?
Yeah, because Malachi Black shot him with the Black Mist, and it like reawakened the darkness within him or whatever, storyline wise.
That is another fucking mistake. Why the hell would you debut Malachi Black? And I mean, the guy is on fire. His in-ring style is awesome. He's got the coolest fucking gimmick. And you job him out to Cody Rhodes. And I don't want to hear, well, he got his win and now it's Cody's turn. No.
Oh, he's doing pretty good now. He's with the House of Black and shit.
Yeah. That was such a fucking mistake. He shouldn't be trading wins with Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is an executive in that company or was. And that kind of speaks a lot that he's no longer with the company. So it's like, was he demanding that win over Malachi Black? Because it shouldn't have fucking happened. And that's why the fans started fucking booing him.
Yep.
Like, dude, you suck.
Well, they were booing him before that.
Awesome.
They were booing him before that. And it's like, he should have just turned fucking heel. But no, he thinks he's fucking his brother or his dad. That's what he thinks. He thinks he's them, but he's not.
Jeff Jarrett syndrome.
And just wants to ride on that Rhodes name.
He's not anywhere right now.
Don't you besmirch the name of Jeff Jarrett.
Rumor is he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Who, Jeff Jarrett?
No, Cody Rhodes.
I feel like
Etep would be more excited if Jeff Jarrett was there.
I'll go get my yellow glasses on. I already called the kid slap nuts, but I'll get a guitar to hit him with.
Jeff Jarrett is going to be at Squared Circle Expo though.
Oh shit!
JEFF JARRETT Jeff Jarrett.
That's JE FF JRRETT Jeff Jarrett.
I feel like Cody has to be a plant or something. Like, how do you walk away from a company you helped build? And like that would be, and he's got a reality show, and like all that stuff, and he kind of just walks away from it. Like, I feel like he has.
His wife did too, and I think she's trying to do some acting shit or some stuff. And then, I know, right? But yeah,
it just cheapens it. Like, we built this company from the ground up, and it's actually pretty damn successful, doing a damn good job. And then you just walk away from it to go back to the place that made you want to start your own fucking wrestling company in the first place. It doesn't make sense. I mean, am I wrong in that?
No, he's supposed to fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That's who he's supposed to fight.
WWE was so fucking bad that he went and fucking, not like Tony Khan funded it and wanted to start it, but he's like, fuck this place, let's build our own fucking company. And now you're going back there.
Yeah, he's going to do nothing they'll job him the fuck out.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to be a plant or something.
Seth Rollins is gonna bury him. I bet you.
Oh yeah.
He's got to be feeding information to Tony Khan or something, because it just doesn't fucking make sense. That or him and Tony Khan had it out somehow, because it doesn't fucking make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who's Triple H working at WrestleMania? Oh.
He's retired because he had that
yeah.
quad bypass.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, if it's anything like my dad's quad bypass, like, dude, you're pretty much useless after that.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be inheriting the company or anything. Like, that's.
I saw some. I think it was what is that? Sportster. They were talking about his Triple H starting his own promotion. Hell no, he ain't gonna. He can't physically after all that. No, that's that ain't. That ain't.
People were talking about him going to AEW a couple weeks ago. Like,
that would never fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
No.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there, so I can still sit here and ponder why the fuck Cody would go to WWE. There's something that doesn't make sense there, and I'm telling you, I think he had it out with Tony Khan, especially with the him trying to be a baby face, not getting the hint. The fans are booing him, and it was go away heat.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Here's an oddball suggestion. Could it be, for whatever reason, his brother is going to be getting inducted and he's showing up for that? And
His
that's why
brother's
he's
in
back for a
AEW.
little while?
His brother's in AEW still.
But that doesn't mean that he couldn't get inducted. They've inducted people that were working for other companies before.
Dustin is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just a weird thing to ponder. Like, what if?
Yeah.
I think he had it out with Tony Khan. I think they got into a fight, and he's like, fuck this, I'm leaving. Because think about it, WWE is like the enemy.
Yeah, they couldn't come to a contract agreement from what I was reading about it.
Yeah. He probably wanted to be world champion and some kind of guarantee in his contract. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, there had to be a pretty big blowout between those two for him to turn around and go to the enemy.
Yeah.
Wrestlers, it's one thing, but he was an executive in that company. He helped build it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sit with me right. Something's off.
And apparently, the statement made it seem like he wasn't happy where he was. So
yeah, and why wouldn't you be? You're making money. You've got a reality show. Like, it's like all the pieces are falling in place for you, but you're not happy.
Yeah.
So, with that. Yeah, he and his wife's egos are giant. They lost some of their... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like he's becoming the thing he swore to destroy. You know, like...
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So, let's go around. Everyone can plug their channels or shows, everything they got coming up. And then I'm going to go eat some Krispy Kreme donuts because they're just staring at me right now.
That sounds so good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm Etep Wokuian. You know who I am. You know who I am. What you don't know is why I'm here. I'm just, yeah. Hey, look, why don't you come on over and watch a video tomorrow? Enjoy that. I mean, it's fun. I make fun videos. I rant about shit. You know who I am. And tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, the member stream for the channel. I'll make sure to share that in the community tab with the link, and I'll put the link on for the members on Twitter. It'll be out there. I'll tag y'all in it. And the community tab. And then the big show at 9. Me, Tony, Saggy Melons, and our favorite guest, TBD. So it'll be Saggy and me and Tony and TBD tomorrow night. Because Jeff from World Class Bullshitters moved their show to Wednesday night again this week and stole Nick from me again. So Nick told me today, he says, you can take that up with Jeff. I'm like, oh, I will. I told Nick, I'm like, brother, you've been on that show for how many years? It's all good. But yeah, I got my Bel Air review will be out Saturday. And I'm gonna try to go see Morbius tomorrow night. Wait, not tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Jesus, I'm drunk.
Oh, does it come out this weekend?
Thursday. It drops Thursday.
Okay,
so
we'll have to see that.
There's a 7 p.m. show on Thursday. So if I can go see the 7 p.m. show on Thursday, I'm going to stream Friday night after Vinny's done, because you stream from like 5 till 6, I believe it is, right, Vinny? On Friday. So I would go on about like 8, because who wants to watch Friday Night Tights when you can watch me talk about the living vampire?
Dropping this shit. They keep dropping this shit when I gotta work. What the fuck?
I'm gonna try to catch that movie so I can hop on with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it by then. I might be on with you guys too.
Excellent. Yeah, if you're gonna go see the movie, absolutely, let me know. I want like at least 4 or 5 people on. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna check some screening times because I haven't even looked yet. But yeah, I definitely want to catch it.
Somebody's got to let me know when the first screening and that's going to happen. I'm going to make sure I go to sleep.
I don't care. I think it looks good. It looks
does
good.
Look good.
It's Sony, so yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Drake.
No, I was just saying that it's by Sony, so I'm more excited to see it. If it was like just the Marvel bullshit,
I'm
inclined.
Doesn't which of the Bree Eternals, which one here? I'm just gonna do this. Take me off solo. There. Which one of the I'm sorry. I'm done signing out. I'm done. I'll shut the fuck up. I'm babbling.
Thank you for coming on tonight, brother, and helping with the comments and everything, man.
We love you, Culture Tep.
he's super famous now, so. I'm Draven, Angelous Draven. I do gaming over on my channel on Twitch mainly. Been playing Elden Ring, suffering through that game like crazy. And I wasn't able to do anything this past weekend because it was at Horror Hound. So I believe Thursday night I will probably be playing some more of that. So check me out. And if not, then I'll probably be playing some Fortnite.
Sweet.
We're peeking in people's windows again.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's Nev Campbell, I'm there with him.
Getting some of that side boob action.
Yeah.
You like that side boob? That's my side boob.
Speaking of side boob action, I'm going to have to start playing Genshin Impact now that I'm not going to be playing Breath of the Wild 2 this year. And I'm heartbroken over that.
Let me know if you do, because when you get to Adventure Rank 16, we can co-op.
Sweet. What's up, Vinny?
Hey guys, the sky, the birds. Yeah, come check out my channel, VinnieArt. I just put up a new toy review before. I did the Ash Williams from Evil Dead 2. It's an official one, and it's a beautiful piece. It's the standard edition, but this thing is fantastic. So check it out if you haven't yet, or as soon as this stream is done. But yeah, we're gonna be hanging out with Red Gaze on Thursday. We're gonna do the probe, and then after that, it's collectible pass with 2 guineas. Me and the other guinea on this panel, Tommy, and it's always a fun time. So come hang out, and in the meantime, get ready because almost done with the pirate book. I got 2 pages left. I've been working like crazy on this.
Super excited for that.
Yeah, dude, you guys don't know how badly I'm itching to get this into your hands. Very proud of this thing.
And that standee.
Yes, the standee should actually be coming, I think, next week.
Nice.
So yeah, I had put the order in, and they were pretty quickly since I already had I had the sample one made. So yeah, it's going to be great. So
I think I'm going to do a reading of your book with the pigs as my audience.
Do they get excited when you read out loud to them?
Yeah, well, yeah, especially if the artwork's nice on the book, they tend to want to try to nibble at it. They tried to do that to Red Gaze's book.
That's awesome. Sweet. Well, I did a nice cover on that one, so yeah, go check it out. Support all the indie creators, including we got Chris Fisk. He's been in the chat. Support him if you haven't. His book is fantastic, and he's a great dude. Yeah. So yeah, pass it on over to Tommy. Everyone have a great night.
Definitely. Real quick, is Evil Dead 2 separate from Army of Darkness? Like, is that, or is
same timeline?
Same timeline, yeah. It technically it was Evil Dead 1, and then they kind of remade it. That's what Evil Dead 2 really is. And Evil Dead 2 goes straight into Army of Darkness.
Okay.
And then the TV series. And the TV series is fucking fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix.
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets kind of goofy in that last season, though. I mean, like,
the last season I'd say that, but it was still pretty solid for what it is. And dude, the first 2 seasons are fucking pure gold. Loved it.
very campy.
Out. I found that movie because I saw Army of Darkness first before Evil Dead.
Same.
But I haven't seen Evil Dead 2.
You have to.
Oh God, you missed out, Tony. I mean, those were the days. You go into the local VHS store and you pick up Evil Dead. Oh, you missed out.
Army of Darkness. We were in Washington, over close to Seattle, visiting my grandpa, and then my mom and my step grandma, his wife, and my sister and everything. We were at the mall, and they went to go see the Joy Luck Club. I'm like, I'm not fucking seeing it. I'm not. So I think it was the Joy Luck Club. Maybe that was, I'm confusing it with Robin Hood Men in Tights. But either way, happened with both movies. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this. So I saw Army of Darkness and was like, that sounds pretty badass. And I just sat in the theater alone and watched it. And yeah.
Nice, man. Well, yeah.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, watch Evil Dead 2. You'll see how he got there and just all the really cool, crazy shit that happened. Fantastic, especially for what they did. It was guerrilla filmmaking, and they came up with some amazing stuff. Greg Nicotero was one of the guys who worked on the special effects on that.
Yeah,
the Walking Dead dude. But you'll dig it because it's all Bruce doing crazy shit and beating himself up.
Sweet.
Is it the first one or the second one where the woods?
The woods come alive in the first one.
Okay.
Well, it was both technically.
Well, I'm saying like in the first one, they did a lot more with the trees, I think, in the first one. Because the second one, he was mostly inside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it happened too because the spirit came through the forest and got.
Well, I'm talking about the woods, like gives the girl
rape,
the wood.
The grape scene.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's in the first one.
Okay.
He's talking about the hills being alive with the sound of music.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Vinny. It's always great, man.
You got it, man. Always a pleasure.
Hi, everybody. I used to have a channel, and then the pigs have completely taken it over. It's called Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. It might as well just be called the Guinea Pigs at this point. Seriously, those little bastards get a lot more views than I do when I do my toy reviews. Can you believe this stuff? They've taken over. You know, you talk about your NWOs, you talk about your LWOs, but the PWO has taken over. It's 100% true. Now, guys, stop by. You can catch me talking about old toys, old movies, and of course some of the retro toys being done right. You know, Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going old school, and as Vinny said earlier, right after the probe on Thursday, we have Collectible Pass talking about those wonderful retro things, and of course, coming back on Friday for Vinny with the Friday chat. What do you call that one now, Vinny? I keep forgetting what that.
It was the Friday Underground, but the last one I did was Toy Talk.
Okay, yeah. So Friday Underground, and then the chill stream on Sunday. So
right.
Oh, one other thing, in case anybody doesn't know, in case there's somebody maybe in the chat that knows Drew Supreme Heretic, he's got a fund going right now to cover his mother's final expenses because there was no will, there was no life insurance policy, so he's got that going on right now. If you guys have a chance, go on Twitter or whatever, check that out. Maybe if you can donate, or at the very least share it out for him so he can get more eyes on there, so he can get the funds that he needs to be able to take care of his mother properly. It'd be much appreciated.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking for that link right now real quick so I can drop it. Here we are. We'll drop that in the chat for everybody. So yeah, if you can help out with that, I mean, Drew's a great guy, and you know, he was close with his mom, so yeah. And we all need a little love and support in going through something like that. So my heart goes out to Drew. I'm going to check that out right now after the show.
There's been a lot of amazing people that are already helped out. I mean, the last time I checked, he was all the way up to 1,500 already.
Holy shit! Damn,
That's good, man.
Good shit.
Yeah, Chris, absolutely. I do believe Walton had something to do with the filming of that. The tree grapist.
Oh,
The Walton prawn.
Yep.
He's like, how do I get in on the sequel?
So, thank you, everyone. Check us out next Tuesday for the Monday Night War retrospective. I'm gonna try to get some other things here on the channel. Like, I'm gonna quit this second fucking job. Like, fuck that. I miss the Sunday night streams. I fucking miss the freedom, and this place fucking sucks, dude. I'm like,
man.
so not.
Is it
feeling
what,
it.
Domino's?
Yeah, and it's Domino's.
I'll tell you what, Tony, you have motivated me to quit my second job. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even have a first job. Never mind. Go ahead. Carry on.
Like my life is meant to entertain you guys, and speaking of guinea pigs, feed my fucking guinea pigs lettuce before I can get coffee in the morning. So,
Oh, my God. Are you having a hard time finding stuff for them, too, or is it just me?
not really, but my wife usually goes out and does their shopping. But no, do you mean with like the hay or like actual like veggies?
Yeah, the hay I actually got stocked up on because I was buying the big giant 40-pound boxes. But like the regular dry food that I get for them, the guinea pig food, there's a certain brand that they like, and I've been having a hard time getting that. And also we use the shredded paper bedding.
Yeah,
That has been scarce sometimes as well. And every once in a while when I go out to these stores, even just find regular romaine lettuce has been, it's been a hit or miss sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I give like we usually get green leaf lettuce and then a thing of red leaf lettuce and just kind of mix them together. I don't know if like that it's just another option if they have it. But
my wife picked up a big giant, those big plastic tubs of them that are already pre-mixed. She found a couple of them like dirt cheap in like Target or something and brought them home. Pigs love that shit.
Those went up like $1. Like we cut up our own, but it's like those plastic ones. They went up like fucking $1, $2 since the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're right, man. The guinea pigs, it's not just the channel. I mean, they're taking over the fucking world. So I'm just glad I got in good with them before it was convenient, So
Right.
Thanks again, What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, they're gonna be our new overlords.
Yeah.
It's the globalists and the guinea pigs.
We can only hope that the guinea pigs take over.
Yeah.
We welcome our new tiny ankle-biting overlords with open arms.
Yeah.
I will make sure they have the wings to fly and take over the world.
Look out! They're little guinea pirates.
The world would be a lot warmer place if it was run by guinea pigs.
This is true.
So all we do is fucking eat and kick it. Maybe get an occasional fight over fucking piece of pepper or
Did
something.
someone say guinea pirate?
That's awesome.
That's courtesy of Tommy's daughter.
That's awesome. They've all just our guineas would not let us dress them up in that shit. Like they have all kinds of Spider-Man outfits and all kinds of shit for guineas.
Oh my God! Did you see the ones that I did?
I think so.
I did ones for Halloween and I did ones for Christmas. Out of the 4 pigs, only 1 pig didn't mind. The rest of them fought it the entire time. And by the time you got 1 pig in the outfit, and you're getting the second one in the outfit, the first one's wiggling out. So then you got to put it back on him and try to get to the third one really quick before the second one gets his outfit off. Because I wanted to do it with all 4 of them together. Oh my God, what a nightmare!
You need that line from Scrooge. Just get a staple gun.
How are we gonna get these ears on this little fella? I don't know. Have you tried staples? I'm not going to staple this little guy.
I was trying to bribe them. I was handing them carrots, lettuce, and everything else. Just keep eating. Maybe they won't wiggle out of the outfits.
That's cute.
So, with that, everyone, thanks again. It was a great night. Remember, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. And we'll see you next time.
And I have half the brain that you do.